What's up YouTube? This is themthatgots bringing you another video. This time I have me with my Marvel Legends Series 4 Hitmonkey series Captain America, Ultimate Captain America. Here he is. I've delayed the rest of these videos because I was waiting on my cap to get here. When I ordered them, originally the store that I ordered them from gave me an extra Wolverine instead of a Captain America, so I had to contact them and get my Captain America back. But here he is. I got him today and I'm going to finish out these reviews. I really do like this figure. This is a figure that's been getting a lot of flack from fans for a lot of stupid reasons. The thing about Marvel Legends Wave 3 and 4 was that Hasbro flat out told us that these waves were going to be cost-cutting waves. They were going to reuse a lot of parts. Well, for Wave 3 they were going to reuse a lot of parts. Actually, I think they reused every part almost, if not all. But they told us that they were trying to make new body sculpts, so they were going to cut costs, paint apps and stuff like that. Wave 4, they got us some new sculpts, but they have the mini Build-A-Figure, and that's why they have the mini Build-A-Figure. The problem a lot of fans are having, if you look up reviews on these waves, there's a lot of negative reviews. The thing, in my opinion, I'm going to share my opinion on this, but feel free to disagree with me. I don't want to start a war in the comments or anything. If anyone tries to, I'm going to delete the comment because that's just ridiculous. But my opinion on this is Hasbro flat out told us that's what they were doing with these two waves. And the problem with adult collectors is that we feel like we're owed something when actually we aren't. Toy companies, what they do is they make toys, and that's what they do. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. And the thing that people say is, well, if we don't buy the toys, then they can't make them and they lose their money. That's half true. If we don't buy the toys, then they will stop making them. However, they'll put that money into another toy line where they'll make their money. They're not losing any sleep over it. So what we have to do as collectors is decide, do I want to buy this or do I not want to buy it? And where do I draw the line? The thing is, if you hate all the figures that are coming out, then stop buying them. There's nothing that's keeping you buying them, and you are not owed anything by Hasbro. So what they have done is given us figures. They didn't lie about it. They didn't say they weren't cutting corners. They actually told us they were. That's why I don't have any issues with this figure. So I'm going to go ahead and get in the review after that rant. I'm sorry for the rant, but that's my opinion on the matter. So let's take a look at this figure here. He's actually a really great sculpt. If you look at the head sculpt, it is actually the same head sculpt as the Hasbro Return of Marvel Legends Series 1 Steve Rogers, except they've sculpted the Captain America mask over it, and I'll put them side by side here. You can see the eyes, the chin, and the mouth and nose, they're all the same sculpt. So that's really cool. It makes a lot of sense that they did that. If we go down here, the only problem I have with this figure, which I don't even think you can see on the camera, is the white paint on the star is a little splotchy. No big deal though. The paint on the arms came out good, which it didn't on some other people, so that's pretty cool. It does have a nice vest that has a really nice black paint wash on it. It does have some silver paint apps there that make some things stand out. There's one on the buckle here too, to differentiate a little bit. On the back there's a lot of good sculpting going on, but there really isn't any paint work. There is the black wash, but no other paint work. He's got these gray pants that look pretty nice, the brown straps here, and the red boots that are super detailed. I actually like these boots a lot. I wish there was a little bit more of a black wash on them, but they came out pretty good. One thing that's really cool is they did paint the sole on the boot. It's like this nice grayish black color, and if you look on the bottom, one cool thing is that it has these stars sculpted into the boot. So that's a nice touch. It's still got the peg holes. If you look at the shield here, let's get into the shield a little bit. It is more metallic looking than the previous shields we've gotten from this same sculpt, which I do really like. There's actually some darker tones in the red here that work really well that I don't know if you can tell on the camera there, but it's cool. The back of it's gray. I do kind of prefer, they used to paint the back of these black, and I like that better, back when Toy Biz did them. The Steve Rogers one is red, which I would even say that I still like better than this. There is a peg here, so that you can fit the shield into the back of the character, or there's a hook, you can put it on his arm. So I'll show you here, you can snap it on his arm here. It's kind of tough, actually. You can do that, it's on his arm. Or you unsnap it, put the peg down, and then you see there's a hole right here in his back. And you just snap it right into his back, which is pretty cool. I do like that there's no elastic bands on it or anything like that like the Toy Biz used to have. I do prefer this shield. I like this shield. It would be nice if it were just a little bit bigger, but it is a nice shield. So back to the figure here. Let me show you here with the head how I originally said that it was the same sculpt as this. One other cool thing is that you can actually pop this head off. There's a ball joint here, and you can put this head right on, so you can have an unmasked Captain America, which looks really nice. So I'm going to pop the head back on. One other thing I would like to note that doesn't really bother me because of the vest is if you look under here, under his arms, they are painted gray, which is comic accurate. However, if you pull the vest back, that gray is not painted under there. I don't know if you can see, but it's just the continuous blue. Like I said, it doesn't bother me because the vest is there. You can take the vest off, but it looks better with it on, I think. It just looks awkward having a Captain America with, you know, the top the same as a normal Captain America and the bottom being gray. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But let me get into articulation, which is actually really good here. You've got the ball disc that goes up and down, left and right, and you actually have quite a bit of side-to-side movement on the figure there, and it rocks quite a bit on the side too, which is nice. You do have a ball joint at the shoulders, which there is missing a star that goes here that's missing. Doesn't bother me. I know it bothers everyone else. It doesn't really bother me at all. But there's a nice ball joint. The top of the bicep is nice and round. It doesn't snag on that ball at all. You have double jointed elbows. And then there's a cut at the top of the glove and nothing past that. It would be nice if there was at least a wrist swivel. But it looks good. It doesn't really bother me at all. It does have pretty good ab crunch. My one gripe about this body, which I've never said before, I don't think I've reviewed a character with this body, but this muscle, I don't know what that's called, but it is way too long on this sculpt. It just looks weird. That's my main gripe with the Shield Agent sculpt, is that muscle there. It just looks awful. But, I mean, it works. People like the sculpt. It's not my favorite, and that's why. But it's not bad. There is waist swivel. Then there's a Y-jointed crotch, so you can spin that ball. And then with the thigh swivel, you can get all sorts of movement out of it. Get it back down there. There is a double jointed knee. There's a cut at the top of the boot. You have normal ankle articulation and the new Hasbro rocker that I love. And that's it for articulation. The last thing I want to point out, which is another thing that a lot of people have complained about, which does not bother me at all, is this holster here. That gun is sculpted in there. That doesn't bother me at all, really, and the reason why is when you have removable guns out of holsters, the holsters are always way too big, and they look really, really awkward when you take the gun out. So it doesn't bother me really that that's there. I'm just going to sit it on a shelf, and you know, it looks good. It's nice and thin. It's not huge, sticking out super far. And the good thing about it is if you have the gun from the Steve Rogers from Wave 1, it fits right in this hand with a nice little trigger finger. That's not fitting in very easily for me, but it does fit in nicely. You can see there. Usually that finger fits in without an issue. There we go. Popped it in there. So anyways, that is Series 4 Ultimate Captain America, a great figure. I definitely recommend it. It doesn't come with a piece for the Build-A-Figure, but it is a good-looking figure. Paint apps are pretty nice. There is a lot of new parts in the vest and the belt, a lot of nice sculpted detail. Especially if you have the Steve Rogers from Wave 1, I would definitely recommend you get it because you can swap out some nice parts on him. It's a great figure, and hope you guys liked this. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.